Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bethany. I'm a homeschool mom to 5 kids, and this is the first year all of them are actually going to be doing like a structured learning, and I'm so excited. I have a preschooler, first grader, third grader, fifth grader, and a special needs student. I'll be making videos for each grade, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see what I've used in previous years, go check out my homeschool playlist and see what we've kept, changed, and all those things. And I love watching these videos, so hopefully this is informative for you. If you have any questions, look at the description box below and comment and let me know, and I will be making a lot of homeschool content here in the next couple of weeks as we gear up to start our new homeschool year. So let's get into it. This video is going to be all about what my third grader is going to be using. If you watched last year, you've seen that we switched to Bob Jones University, so this will be her second year doing Bob Jones University again. We do the online lectures, so there is a little bit of a difference, and I'll probably do a video explaining the differences, but the online lecture is where the teacher instruction is provided for you. You are still a facilitator as the homeschool teacher and do all the read alouds, the grading, and you make sure that they have everything they need for the instruction. And it's not like whenever we used to be homeschooled, or at least when I was homeschooled, back first through fourth grade in the 90s, and the recorded lectures would be a camera at the back of a classroom. These are actual production sets that BJU puts together, and the teachers are so informative, and my kids really do like them. So that being said, let's get into the curriculum. Okay, starting with English, she's doing the English 3, and I have created a little binder. If you're unfamiliar with the Online with Books, they have handouts for each subject that the teacher will sometimes say, hey, you have a handout today, and it will say, like, this is the first one is day 11, and they will do this with the instructor on the lecture. I also put the assessments in here. These are the tests, so that way that they can easily know where they are. And since there wasn't very many for English, I actually put the handwriting in the back, and I just separated them with a divider. And these are the handwriting handouts that she will have as well. So English 3 is what she will be doing. What I like about BJU English is that it is grammar and writing. And I have used BJU English for years. Even before we did the online videos, I used BJU English. And how it works is one chapter will be grammar. So you're working on, nouns, verbs, adverbs, punctuation, things like that. And then the next chapter will be writing, and you're writing a poem, a letter, a research report. I guess I just look in the table of contents and tell y'all. So chapter 1 is sentences. Chapter 2, you're doing a poem. Chapter 3, you're doing nouns. Chapter 4, action verbs. Oh, I think I missed one. A journal entry. And so each one is doing a different, so you're switching from grammar to writing. So it's really actually reinforcing, here's the grammar, put it to work. And I really do like that. Plus, you don't have 2 curriculums for each thing. Like I mentioned, she is doing the handwriting 3 this year. She will be doing cursive. It starts off, she ended last year with an introduction to cursive, and then this year will be her first full year of cursive. For spelling, she is doing spelling 3, and how this works is they give you a spelling list. So this will be day 1. This is day 2, day 3, and day 4. And then day 5, you test. Yeah. Day 1, day 2. Yeah. Oh, I skipped it. That's fine. Day 3, day 4, and then you test. And they also do little handouts with this as well. Speaking of the handouts, this is the work text for reading. I have the handouts for spelling in the back of here. The reading workbook was like the perforated, so I just went ahead and put it in here. So she has all of her student handouts in the beginning for reading. The second section is her student work text, and then the third section is her spelling handouts. The reading this year really is starting to focus on comprehension. It came with 2 textbooks here, and these are just all stories. And then the work texts are comprehension worksheets on these stories. And this year she had 2 book links here. And so these are 2 books. One will be a lower reading level. One is a little bit of a higher reading level. And then the book links are pretty much a folder full of handouts that are a book report for these, like a comprehensive book report is pretty much what it is. And they have lots of activities and things that you can do for each book to make it really come to life. The next thing we'll talk about is math, and I put it in this huge workbook because I also put the workbook in here. So we have the handouts and the entire workbook is in here, along with the tests are in the back. That way everything is all together and I don't have to worry about searching for anything. This year she did receive a manipulative pack for math, and these are all perforated cardstock or cardstock poster sheets, and they go all along with the math. For history, she is going to be doing the Heritage Studies 3. It came with a textbook, an activity manual. This is the test answer key, but the test, the handouts, and then I have the test in here. I just seen that. The test as well. And she really actually enjoyed the Heritage last year. I don't know if they're doing it this year, but the Heritage Studies last year, they had a master timeline that they created with the handouts. And last is science. She will be doing Science 3, and I just slipped the science test in the front of this, but she has the test, and then the whole activity manual I put inside of here with the handouts in the back. And with science, I am the world's worst. If you see my other video, I talked about this, about getting to an experiment and not looking ahead and having everything but one item, or having none but one item. So what I did this year is ordered the lab kit from Home Science and Home Science Tools, and I will link them down below. But what they do is create a box full of all of the things you will need that year for science, every experiment. It was a little pricey. It is $100 for the entire kit. But for me, if I'm going out and piecing out all of the activity things, my kids either won't do it, or I'll be running to the dollar store and probably paying over the amount for that anyway. So I went ahead and got this. The only thing that's not included is the perishable items. So I will get a list of all those. Most of the time it's like graham crackers and things that I do have. That's usually what I did have, was the perishable items. So it came with some peat moss. There's just like some funnels and cylinders in here, some wiring, all types of literally everything that they will need, even a kitchen scale. It looks like there is a code for mealworms down here I need to mail off for. You know how you get like the worms or caterpillars and stuff. Some cups. It even came with batteries, you guys. It literally has everything in here so that she can complete the science experiments. And so that's fun, and it's really worth it because I usually allow the other kids to sit in with the other kids when they do an experiment, because experiments are fun with groups. And so I let them head it and the other ones assist as needed. So Home Science, definitely go check them out for that. The last couple of things I want to talk about that we'll be doing is, if you follow me for any amount of time, then you know that we used to do group studies. Well, my kids still miss getting together and doing those group studies, but now that they do their own grade level, we don't do that anymore. So this year what I'm going to be doing is changing Friday afternoons. They will not do science or history, and we will do our group studies, which will be art, heritage studies, and nature study. We'll be filtering those out. So I will do a video about that so you guys can see it. But I did want to mention that we are still working through some Bible. The Answers in Genesis Bible, we do this with our morning basket, which I will show our morning basket. And the Good and the Beautiful nature notebooks, we are working through those as well. And then I also have all this heritage study stuff, so I will show that. But she does have those. In addition to her curriculum, she will be doing American Heritage Girls, Patch Club, and 4-H. And I will probably make a video if you guys want to see what those look like or what materials I have for those, let me know. But the last thing that I do want to show you guys is my reading binder or reading bins. And if you see my other video, then you know I've done this for all of my kids. Is I just went and picked up these wicker baskets and filled them with readers that are at their level, either a little bit below, at their level, or a little bit above. And the reason why is because I have all like these shelves full of books, and I'm like, oh, go to the reading section and get a book, you know, go, it's time for independent reading or whatever. And they would just be like, well, what I read, I don't know which, can I read this one, can I read this one? And I'm like, I'm just gonna negate all of that and put everything for them, so they each have their own bin here. And I have included her little timer, because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, you finished school early, go do 20 minutes of independent reading. And I really want to be better about keeping reading logs this year. So they can time themselves reading. I have added the hot dots. I don't think I have a pen right here, but if you're familiar with the hot dot self-correcting pens, and I put grade 2 in here, and then I have grade 3 as well in another bin. So once she completely masters these ones, she'll move on to that one to make sure. I did not mention earlier, but she is actually a grade ahead. If she was to go to public school, she would actually be going into 2nd grade. She has taken standardized tests, and she is in the 75 percentile to 95 percentile and up on her subjects. So we have moved her a grade ahead last year, and that was fine. She tested fine. And so we are going to continue with that. So that being said, her reading level is kind of in that span. So I have a whole bunch of the later level B, I think these are the B books that for the Good and the Beautiful, the older Bob books for her to read, and those are more for fluency. I give them easier books because I want them to get that fluency, that quicker reading. She also has the McGuffey readers, 1st and 2nd in here. She has a lot of like the Pioneer Sisters, the Dust for Dinner, both of the All About Reading level 2s, the box D for Good and the Beautiful, a whole bunch of just readers in here that I have had, and then a harder level, which would be Sarah Planning Tall. I don't know if we're going to get to that this year, but my goal is that she will just love reading and really reinforce all of those early phonics words, sight words, and just really build that fluency this year. So that is all we are going to be doing, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the description box and comment below, like, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.